out, do all the Twitch stuff, make sure that my Twitch page is muted, and okay, I think we're good. Hello everyone, this is Chris Ingerson, and it is August 19th. This is the August 19th Saturday Devstream. So, today, since it's Saturday, we are going to be continuing our work on custom content creation. Specifically, we are going to start off with getting end rooms to actually behave like end rooms. So currently there's nothing really special about end rooms. They would behave like any other normal room in a custom map. But what we want them to do is we want them to actually, once you type anything into an end room input, it should just end the game. And actually, it's kind of weird, but I'm currently basing that behavior off of Zork's default behavior, which is just you get to the end room, then you enter a door, and that's it. It just immediately ends. So it's actually kind of jarring how much it ends, or how quickly it ends. It's just very sudden. So we might eventually find a way to make that a little bit less painful, but for the time being, I'm just going to use Zork as the template. So currently, if we go up here, let's see, provide warning saying there's no end room. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and set our den as an exit room. Hit close. Yeah, we got that warning. Okay. Oh, that's fine for now. And if we play, it will break. Okay. Well, that was kind of anticlimactic. What broke? Do not tell me that this is a... Oh, good. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't a JSON parser error. This is interesting. Placeholder label.text is equal to... Oh, okay. I know what that is. Okay. So that's from our work that we did this week, where we have the placeholder text in the input field change, but we don't actually need that in our custom input view. So that's something we're going to have to do. I'm going to close some of these irrelevant scripts. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pull up custom, oops, with an X, with a C, custom input. Really? Did I not call it that? Okay, well, fine. There it is. Custom game input view. Okay, that's fair. So, yeah, all that stuff. We want to do the base.open. So, let's go ahead and go to custom game view custom game input. There we are. Let's go ahead and close that. And currently, I'm going to see what this has in it. Type actions here. Good. That's all I'm going to do then. So placeholder text is just going to have one value, and it's just going to say type actions here. We might actually be able to expose that to allow players to, well, not that we might, we actually can just expose that to let people specify what they want their placeholder text to say. I would probably be fine with that. All right, let's go ahead and try playing again real quick. See if that fixed it. Start. Create. Zork. Map. Interesting. It didn't save. Exit room. Close. Let's try moving this around. Now let's hit play. Oh, okay. North. North. South. Interesting. So if we go back to a room with no background, it looks like it doesn't actually fade the sprite that exists there. Okay, so that's something to do. In any case, let's go. Well, let's just actually type quit. So we are going to quit, and I need to. Oh, jeez. Okay, we're gonna fix that too. Let's see, custom input view. Hello, Anthony. Welcome back. Let's see. I'd ask how you were doing today, but we've already gone through that. Let's see. I want to find my open and close. Help open and close. Here we are. So we do base.close peak, which is base.close. We're going to go to peak definition. Okay. You know what? I'm actually going to change. Well, not change. I'm going to add something to my game view class. And that's just going to be show cursor on open and hide cursor on close. I'm going to say public bool show cursor on open is equal to true. Public bool hide cursor on close is equal to true. So that's the current default behavior. Is it shows the cursor on open and it hides it on close. That's the current behavior. So we're going to change that to be from a hard-coded setting to where it always happens to something that's driven by these two bools. So tooltip should the cursor be shown when this menu is opened? Question mark. And tooltip here. Should the cursor be hidden when this menu is closed? Alright, so we're going to come down here, we're going to say if show cursor on open, do that, and then if show, oops, sorry, not show, if hide cursor on close. There we go. Simple as that. So now I no longer have to worry about menus getting rid of the cursor when they shouldn't. Let that compile, and that should just pop up here. Let's see. Come back here. Do I have anything else I really need to do here? Not really, so. Alright, go ahead and let that go. So, we do want the input view to do that, and we don't want the custom game input view to do that, because we don't actually care. That's interesting. I'm not getting tooltips. Oh, dang it. I hate it when I do that. Ugh. I'll go ahead. In any case. So custom game input view, I think that's all good at this point. We don't really need to change game view anymore. And we do have to wait our prerequisite 5 minutes for it to stop playing. Although that's interesting that the UI is shrunk in like that. Huh. It's kind of weird. Alright. So, I think the things that we're going to work on today, after we get through the or the end rooms, we might start looking into objects, so things you can actually interact with in the scene besides navigation. So let's go ahead and, well, geez, I'm going to have to do this for like all of my menus, aren't I? Okay. Let's see, prefabs, text effects, scripts, modifiers, inputs, HUD. I suppose we'll probably do HUD. So we don't want to show or hide whenever that stuff is done. Game over. I don't think we really care. It's probably fine for this. Oh, actually, no. Let's go to the room view. Where are you? Custom game. I probably actually want to say custom room. There we go. Alright, so view custom room. This is the room, or this is the view that we have in the custom game map view when you click on a node. We do not want it to hide the cursor on close. We might as well have it just show cursor on open. That's not really going to do anything. Custom game map view also will not hide things on close. Room node, that's not a view. Connection, all this fun stuff. And Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's see here. View custom game options again. Pretty much anything that's in a menu, like or in the main menu navigation, is not going to close itself or not going to hide the cursor on close. It doesn't really matter. I mean, in theory, these really shouldn't be conflicting like this because once they're closed, the next menu should open up. But I think what ends up happening is that the next menu opens and then the current menu closes. So that forces the UI cursor to be hidden because it was called last. I could switch over to like a semaphore, but eh. Let's see, classic create. I'm just gonna do all of this, all of the classic stuff. They don't get to hide. Custom new game dialog. Nope, nope, and texture edit. Well, look at that, how fancy. Okay, let's go ahead and try this. Hopefully now we won't get any annoying cursor disappearances. That's extras, author mode, create, Zork, map. It's still not saving this for some reason. That's really weird. It has to be saving out incorrectly? That doesn't seem right. Let's close that. Well, in any case, I'm going to make this go south, I guess, to the den. Close. All right. Do we have anything? We don't have anything in the back there. Room 2 has that. Although room 2 probably should scale. It's fine for now. Den is fine. All right. I'm going to quit. I'm going to come back in. So now everything should be saved, which means that if it doesn't work, it's because it's not being saved properly or loaded properly, one of the two. Let's go ahead and hit play. We're going to go south to the den. And right now, if we did anything, nothing will change. In fact, right now we can't go anywhere because there's actually no connections out. So let's go ahead and stop playing. And now we're going to look at our custom game input view. So let's see if not string that is null or empty text. Current section. We don't care about any of that. Okay. So we want to say check input. I don't remember that. Cache game session receive input modifier. Something else is wrong here. There should be a check basically to send it through the parser. Okay. What line was it? I don't think it was this. Yeah, I think that just loads it. Maybe it's down. That is not correct. Okay. Let me see. I think it's parser commands. So custom game parser commands. Let's see. Do input control. Quit. Should give me something. Here we are. Peak definition. Okay. I need to go to custom game session because that's where things get funneled through at some point. So let's see, receive input. Here we are. Find all references. No, it's just there then. All right. So let's go to the actual thing. If we are quitting or if we have quit, otherwise we're just going to do a regular input. So I suppose let's go peek here. Lost one. I think I'm going to have an ending one here for 12, And that's going to be anytime you enter a end room, you're going to be in an ending state. So let's go ahead and come down here. We're going to say case ending, breakout, and let's check quit input. I guess I'll want to type a score, maybe? Well, you know what? No. No. Let's not do it this way. This is actually not the best way to do it. Instead of having you type something when you get to the end room, think of end rooms as just dummy rooms. They don't have any information. The moment you enter an end room, the game will end. And the reason I want to do it that way is because, like I said originally, in Zork, when you get to the end of the game, there is a door in the final room of the game, and you have to open the door. Once you open the door, the game ends, which means that it is a action on the part of the player that actually determines the end of the game, or when the game ends, as opposed to the way we were just about to code it, which would have been the act of doing anything in the final room would just end the game, even if the player didn't really explicitly do anything. If they type, because what it was going to do is if you typed anything, it would just end. So we don't actually want to do that. Instead, we should just say once you enter a end room, that's it. It's done. So let's go ahead and we're going to say custom game session, receive input. Don't care about that. Instead, we want to go parser commands, move in direction, go to definition, and we're going to say we're going to say output text visited rooms, current room. Here we are. So we're going to say current room, I believe, is a int ID. Yep. So we're going to say is end room current room. So if that, oops. Else, we're going to do all this stuff. We might, let's see, visited rooms. Okay, I think we're going to do this regardless. So we're going to show the background information or the background image either way, whether it's been or whether it's an exit room or not. Okay. Exit info. Oh. Wait. Hold on. I've done this wrong. I think I actually want this. Okay. So I don't want to actually get rid of this. I want to move this up earlier. And instead, we're just going to say this. Oh, come on, seriously? I guess I can't do that. Okay. Yeah, I have to do it the other way. Bah! Alright. So it is actually necessary for me to do it this way. And that's fine. So we're going to say if is room current room, we need to debug that we've entered an end room. So we're going to say debug.log. We're just going to have it be a string for now. Entered end room. All right. I'm going to come back here, and before we play, I'm actually going to look at my custom game save file. So we're looking at Zork. And we have an end room 12. So if we go back and we see that for some reason it's not saying that we have an end room, or it's saying that we don't have an end room, then it is incorrect, or it's not loading properly. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome back. How are you today? Doing start, extras, author mode, create, let's work. says that it's not. So I'm going to come back here, and it's not. That's interesting. So I don't think it's loading properly. So I'm going to stop that, and we're going to go ahead and come down here to custom game state. I'm sorry, not that. Custom game session. So let's come all the way to from JSON, and exits array, settings end rooms. I mean, we have that, but it's not working. So I'm going to put a little debug in here. Log, adding end room, and then plus, let's see, exits array, get int value index I. So now I'll be able to see the ID if it gets pulled in there. See, I'm doing fine. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. I went to Gen Con all day yesterday, and that was pretty fun. But unfortunately, I was not able to get a 4-day pass this year because they sold out really quickly. So I am instead being productive and not playing a bunch of board games. It's a shame. Let's see. So we're debugging that. Is there anything else that would strip this out? Find all references. End rooms contains ID. Alright, we're going to let that compile, then we're going to try playing through that. Because obviously the value for end rooms is getting set, but I don't think it's loading in correctly for some reason. I guess before we start I should... Yeah, no, that's settings JSON. It's looking for settings-n-rooms, which is settings-n-rooms. We have that. It's so weird. Why would it get cleared out? Dang it! Forgot to walk on screen again. I really need to stop doing that. I should just have him automatically walk on screen. Alright, I'm going to try that. Yeah, I keep forgetting to hit space to make my guy walk on screen. I should just have him, if I start talking, walk on screen if he's not already there. At least this time I caught it within 20 minutes. Last time I think I went for like an hour. Extras, author mode, create, Zork, map. Okay. So I'm going to set this as an exit room, hit close. And if we come back here, yes, we now have that in 12. So I'm not going to stop playing because I want to get to the end room. So I'm going to say south. And entered end room just debugs it for now. That's fine. So let's hit quit. Yes. I guess we're going to stop playing. And then we'll see what happens when we try to load. So you can see that we still have 12 here. Man, I really hate how long this takes to unload. I don't know why it does it. Alright. Go ahead and play again. So this time we're going to be on the lookout for this 12 number being debugged. If it is not, then something is really going wrong. So I'm going to go to extras, author mode, create, Zork, map. Okay, did it get debugged? It did not. Interesting. So that means that something else is going on here. Interesting. What? Hmm. I don't. No. 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 Surely not. It could be that for some reason my exits array is just being set to nothing. That doesn't make sense. Hmm. How was Gen Con yesterday? It was pretty fun. It was a little bit rushed just because it was only one day for me this year, and I barely had time to walk through the expo floor. I didn't even get to see everything on the expo floor actually before I had to leave because I had two events yesterday that were scheduled. Well, a couple more, but two really big 4 hour long events, uh, and those ate up most of my day. But they were scheduled in such a way that I only had 2 hours to eat lunch and walk the show floor, and that was just not a lot. So it was very, very difficult to see everything. But it was fun. I did have a really good time, and the role playing sessions that I went to were really, really fun. Actually, the second one we went to had a portrait artist there, and she was doing sketches of everyone's character. And I was a elfling rogue who talked to a skull named Reginald that I found in a dungeon. And I just have a really nice, awesome sketch now of my character with a skull tied to my hip. It was pretty fun. Uh, yeah, if you ever get the chance, I do recommend going to Gen Con at least once. If you live far away, it's hard to justify the price more than once, but I'd say go at least once because it is really it is an experience. Man, I'm trying to find. So I think this is the session. Yeah, the actual JSON that's in there. I'm trying to find the correct. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna copy this to a new one. Then we're gonna paste it. What the heck? What the? It's empty on load. That can't be right. Okay. Custom game author session. Save file path. Interesting. Load game data. Find all references. I guess it's this. Okay, find you. Oi, all this stuff. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna debug.log JSON .to formatted string and barring that actually we're gonna do this. Contents equal to this. Now we're gonna parse file contents, and we will also just debug.log file contents. So now we should see an exact value for our created JSON. We'll know what its raw value going in is, and if that's different from its formatted value, that means that my parser is just working arrays for integers for some reason. Buddies are going to start selling D&D adventures and campaigns on Amazon sometime soon. Really? That's pretty cool. So you're talking about like selling assets to use in other people's adventures? Or like actual campaign stories and worlds that you've designed and written out, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and clear this. Come in. Click through our load screens. Start. Extras. Author mode. Create. Zork map. I know you're incorrect. Hit close. Quit. Stop playing. And we have to take forever to stop playing. I guess while that's going on, let's go to our room, custom room view. So we're going to say open, refresh info, go to definition here, and I think we want to say, interesting. Why are you not null? Huh, that's really weird. So get room background is incorrect here, I think. Repeat definition. Otherwise it returns null. Huh. Okay. Weird. I guess we'll let that go for now. Okay, I'm gonna clear this. Take a look at this. It says 12. That's good. Let's try to figure this out. Actual stories we are going to write. We haven't had much time or motivation to do it yet, though. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess those are things that are difficult to write all at once. That's kind of the beauty of. That's interesting. Looks like my troll is. It might just be the aliasing. Yeah, I mean, a lot of those stories tend to come out in the moment of gameplay as opposed to just thinking about all of it ahead of time. Now, a lot of it is thinking about it ahead of time, obviously, but a lot of the really fun parts of it tend to be from ad-libbing and just doing things. Let's see, I want to check this. Okay, good. Just doing things in the moment. Okay, so I guess we're just going to go ahead and copy this. Yes, this is fine. Paste this in. So raw string is correct. Now, the formatted string is not. Great. That means it's a parser problem. Well, we unfortunately can't move farther until we fix that issue. So, I mean, I guess we could, but it would be quite tedious. Fortunately, I don't think this will be too bad to do. I just need to go to parse to parse to array. There we go. Let's see here. So we're going to go to parse to array collection, go to definition. We trim off our values. All right, and then we actually look for our array string value. So we're going to say if it is a number. Are we trimming this? Yeah, we trim it. Okay, so I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to say debug.log. What the? Dang it. Am I really not? Yeah, can I do print? Of course not. So Unity editor dot debug. I'm sorry, not the editor. Engine dot debug dot log array string value. Okay. Yeah, my JSON parser doesn't have Unity Engine in it. It doesn't need it, so I can't just make a nice convenient debug log call. I have to do Unity Engine dot debug dot log. So for some reason, I guess, this is just not correct. Seems highly unlikely, but we'll let that go, and I guess we'll try to, I'm also going to edit this. Let's see, Zork TVA. So I'm just going to have this say 12, because that's the only thing that's broken, and I don't want to have to play, then stop playing, then play again. So. Do start extras, author mode, create. Okay, still broken. But now we can at least look at these. Ah, there it is, 12. So, why are you not correct then? Oh, nope, never mind. Wait, nope. Okay, never mind. Huh. Get JSON strings. Let's see. While index is less than overall value dot length. It's white space. Okay. JSON object. It's a value array. So just go until a comma is reached. And interesting. So it has to be grabbing nothing then. So we're gonna go to definition here. So I think what's happening is that for some reason this is just returning something that's an invalid empty character. But we don't actually want that. We need this to return the correct number value. So let's see. If raw value of index is equal to quote, which it's not going to be. If it's an open brace, which it's not going to be. If it is an open array, which it is not going to be, it is going to just be, well, no. Yeah, it's just going to be a number. What the heck? So current string. Oh. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. If current string length is equal to 0. What the heck is going on here? That is nonsensical. Why would I have an if current string dot length is greater than 0 immediately after a if current string dot length is equal to 0? I don't think that's right. I guess I will comment this out for now, but it's so weird. Instead, I'm just going to do that. In fact, actually, we're going to do this. Ta-da. Okay, so let's see if that fixes. Oh, dang it, again! I hate when I forget to stop playing, because it just wastes time. Alright, let's fix this. Come back up here. At least I can enter this manually again. Let's see. Do I have anything else that stands out as weird here? Not really. Alright, well, while it's going on. So what kind of D&D character do you like to play, Scorpio? Like to play rogues, barbarians, mages? Any of the classes between those three? Because those are kind of the extremes. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why I would have had that. Because that's an impossible criteria. Alright, clear that. Come back up here. See if we break everything. Do start. Extras, author mode, create. This work. Aha! Excellent. And no errors. Alright. Let's go ahead and stop playing. I'm going to get rid of my debugs. Come up here. And here we are, classic create view. Do I need anything else? No. I think that's good. So let's go ahead and go to move in direction. All this fun stuff. All right. So now all that stuff is actually saving, which is good. So the next thing we need to do is actually figure out, well, actually make the game quit when you enter a exit room or an end room. I would also like to see right now what happens when we go from a room that has a custom background to a room that has no background. Because in the past, it was giving us a weird bug. It was showing the background from the previous node. Okay, so all that's loading now, which is good. So if we come up here, we're going to have nothing. We have that, and then that. But if we play, let's go north. We have that. If we go north again, I'm sorry, south that time, you'll see that we're still showing that background, even though that is not correct. That background should not be there. So I think actually what we need to do is we need to go to custom input view. Let's look for our background image. Find all references. We don't care about you. Background color. If background container, we don't care about you. Okay. So Alright, well that's not what we want. Let's find all references here. Okay, we will continue to drill down until we find something. Here we are. These two look promising. So if we move in a direction. So if room backgrounds contains key. Okay. I think what we want to do instead of this is say, so we're going to keep that, but we're going to change this from an if statement to an operand statement. So we're going to get rid of this if. Instead, we're going to say here contains key question mark, otherwise null. And I think that will do what we want. I'm going to do the same thing up here. So what was happening there is we weren't refreshing the background if there was no background to refresh. So that was why we were seeing the incorrect sprite. I'm going to go ahead and wrap these in parentheses because I know that if I don't wrap things in parentheses, things go poorly. Like that. And well, I tried to click on Unity to pull that up, but instead I accidentally clicked on the Epic Games launcher. So you're going to see Unreal here in a second. Okay. Man, sorry, I'm a little tired from last night. Because it wasn't just a long day of board games. It was also a late night before that, and then a late night last night. So it was just not a lot of sleep in the past 2 days. Map. All right. So okay, let's give this a try. So we're gonna go north. We're gonna have that fade in, then south, fade out, and nothing. Good. If you go north again, fade in. Aha! Perfect. So that fixes that problem. Let's go ahead and do nor. Or no. So we're in room 2 currently. Let's go south again. And we're going to go south. So now we're in the exit room and nothing has happened. So I guess for now we're going to do exactly the same thing that Zork does. get Fortnite. I have not gotten Fortnite. Um, I've had my eye on it, but I haven't actually bought it just because there's nothing that really particularly makes me want to buy it. I'm not a huge fan of survival games, and it doesn't seem like a. Well, I mean, it is. It is kind of a survival game from what I can tell, but I don't know. Eh, I'm still looking at it. I don't know if I'm gonna get it anytime soon, though. All right, so we're gonna say. I need to go to in custom game. All right, so we're just gonna do like a hard end here, like that. Is it a lot of base building? Because I kind of got the. Really? Well, all right. I'll have to look at it a little bit closer then. It kind of looked like a survival base builder type game, similar to something like State of Decay. But that could just be me completely misinterpreting the marketing. I'm gonna skip through here, hit start, extras, author mode, create Zork map, and we're gonna hit play, and we're immediately going to go south. Wada! Okay. Um, so what to do there then? So I mean that's certainly one way to exit the game. It just kind of feels like it spits you out. It would be nice to be able to show stats, things like your score. But I guess not all of these games would need a score. I mean, the developer might not want them to show scores at the end. Um, hmm. You do have to build a base to protect something so it doesn't get destroyed while you kill the zombies, so they don't destroy the base. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't think it looks like a bad game. It's just hard to say if I think it's a game that I'll really enjoy. Um, so have exit node or end nodes working, I guess. Like I'm not. I know that it seems sudden how it ends right now when you just enter the room and it just immediately boots you, but that is exactly what Zork did. It just you entered a door and then you were done. That was it. It just booted you back to your C drive. It's really weird. Um, so for now, that's okay behavior. I'll have to think about how I want to maybe ease that, make it not quite as abrupt. But what else should we do while we're in here? I mean, we could support. Oh, I mean, we already have support for multiple end rooms if needed. Did we actually get audio working? I think we did. I'm gonna test this. Oh, right. We have augs working, but we don't have anything else working for now. So if we hit close and then we hit play, let's go north. Did I just comment that code out then? Okay, that's interesting. So we have open text. Yeah, I guess we're not really doing anything with the. Okay, I'm gonna go to the room info real quick. Room info, go to definition, room audio, find all references. JSON to get string value, JSON to add, current room.room audio. Let's see here, cached audio. Custom room audio menu. Oh, right, that's nothing. So, I don't think we actually ended up finishing this just because I got as far as importing OGs, but MP3s can't be loaded at runtime using the default www service. So I have to come up with actually a in-house solution for that. Yay! Yeah, they kind of over campaigned the building part of it. Doesn't revolve around that as much as they said it would. I guess that's not totally surprising, but then again, their big like launch trailer was a mass. There was like a montage of people building a base in there. So, um, okay, does this really not do anything? That doesn't. I mean, surely we do something with this, right? Maybe we don't. Let's go to my. Let's see. Then here we go. Track02.org. Current room audio menu. We don't want that. That is so weird. Does the custom hold on custom game input menu come up here? Does this not have an audio source? It doesn't. Does it? Does it just not have anything? I could have sworn that we had this working at some point. Oh, look at that. I forgot to stop playing, but I guess that's fine for now. I actually wanted to check. Interesting. It didn't save it. Okay. I probably should stop that before. Oh! Okay, this is funny. So listen to this. It's hard. It might be hard to hear it, but well, one that song that's playing is Trent Reznor's song for the Quake opening title. But two, because currently my menu camera is in a audio reverb zone, this audio is being reverberated, so it sounds like it's in a cave. Oops. Probably need to have that ignore reverberation zones. So let's go ahead and pause this. We're going to go to UI, view container. Where are you? It's just under custom room. Oh, it is. Okay. Come up here, room audio. Bypass reverb zones. All right, so now if we did this. Nope, that is not bypassing reverb zones. What are you doing? Okay. Maybe bypass effects. Turn off maximize on play. Still hear it. Super weird. Okay. Let me try sliding this down to 0 then. No, it still sounds really, really reverby, which I'm pretty sure is totally a word. Huh. Weird. Well, okay then. I mean, that's a problem for another day, I suppose. So I think we can work to at least get audio integrated properly, because right now it's not actually doing anything, I don't think. So I guess I only got as far as making sure that it imported audio and I could play it, but not, or that I could test it, but not that it would play necessarily if we went to that level. That still seems wrong though. I'm pretty sure that I did that. Well, in any case. So let's see, cached audio, all that fun stuff. Volume slider change, volume slider exit, volume changed, pitch, select, clicked, selection made. Yeah, we don't actually do anything with this, do we? Oh no, we do. On audio loaded. Audio file label text current room audio. Okay, so we save that. If we come up here, we can see that it is saved, but we're not doing anything with that. It's so weird. All right. So I guess we're gonna do protected dictionary int audio clip room. I don't want to say room sounds. Instead, I want to say like room ambiance. Is equal to new dictionary. All that stuff. All right. And let's go ahead and close this. Okay, so nothing crazy there. We're going to go to room backgrounds. Oh, not good. Find all references. Sorry. Game session. Here we are. Add room background. Well, I probably should do something similar. So we're going to say add room audio, I guess. So public void add room audio or ambiance. So int ID audio clip. Okay, is that what we want? Yes. Let's see. And we're just going to say if room ambience dot contains key ID. I'm just going to say room ambiance of ID is equal to clip. Oh, not if, of ID. Else, room ambiance dot add ID and clip. Simple as that. Then public void remove room ambiance to ID. Is that all I needed? Yes. So we're going to do this pretty much. That's get. Do I really not remove? I guess that's fine. It's weird. Okay, so I'll just call this get room ambience on. Oh, okay, and that's going to be a audio clip. Audio clip. All right. So let's see. I probably should do something similar here. So we come down here and we're going to say public load background or audio, I guess. Background ambience. Ambience. Let's see. So this is going to be room ambience dot clear. Room background. How about dot room audio? Is null or empty. And instead of that, we're going to say interesting. Do I have an audio utility? I do. Good. Okay. So we're actually going to come back here and we're going to say, instead of this texture utility stuff, we're going to say audio utility dot load audio file manager dot get file directory save file path plus room info index dot room audio. Oh, comma. And I guess I want to have a delegate. Bah. Okay. So we're going to say audio clip, do all this fun stuff. say add room ambience, room info, room ID. Oh, I'm sorry, of index. Index dot room ID followed by clip. Okay. I think that's all we need to do. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. Actually, kind of curious. Load audio. So the reason that we have these audio and texture utility classes is so essentially I can just make generic calls to them and say, give me this, and it'll say, okay, let me look. I've already loaded that, so now I don't need to load a second version of it. I can just give you the original file. That way I don't have a ton of audio clips that are all the exact same audio clip, but they're loaded multiple times. So this will help keep that memory footprint small. Start, extras, author mode, create, Zork. Let's go ahead and maximize this on play again. I guess nothing's really going to happen from that, is it? We can, I suppose, double check to make sure that we are. So load backgrounds, and nothing else is actually going to get called, so that makes sense. Let me just stop playing. We're going to come back here. I'm going to comment this out from our substance manager so that we don't constantly. Oh, dang it. No, I shouldn't have done that. Because our substance manager is spamming its debugs for loading and unloading, or well, loading and finishing to load substances. I'm just getting rid of those. All right, last thing I need to do is I'm going to copy this. We're going to go to load background images. Where are you called? Hooray, one spot. Make it super easy. Just like that. All right, and the next thing I want to do is I want to say background, start custom game, attempt to quit custom game, and move in direction, output, text, receive input, check input, confirm quit, room names, get room ID, get room background. Okay, I guess I don't have much there. So we're just going to go ahead and say update background sprite. Come over here to custom game input view. I suppose if it's ambience, then it doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and we're going to say excuse me. Cache background transform, cache background rect. Are you even used anywhere? I guess it totally is. All right. So we're going to go here. I'm going to say private audio source cached audio. Then private audio source cached audio. Get return cached audio question mark cached audio. Else cached audio is equal to get component in children audio source. Simple as that. So now we'll actually be able to play it. Well, we're not going to be able to play audio yet, but we have the audio source component stuff set up. Next, we're going to want to do public void set ambience, I guess. Audio clip. Probably should say ambience. We're going to need a coroutine for this, I believe. We're going to do some ducking. And we're going to just say, we're going to come up here. Oh. That won't really work, will it? If I'm going to do ducking. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I'm kind of thinking through a lot of stuff right now, trying to figure out how to get the audio to work properly. Um, we might actually hold off on this, the audio stuff, because this ties into a system that's been needing a major refactor for a long time, which is my music manager. And technically, I have a class in the game that actually handles music, playing music, ducking, all that sort of thing. But it's not set up as well as it should be, and it's one of the really old scripts that I wrote. So I don't really think I'm going to continue with the audio stuff for now. Um, Mostly because I I'd like to figure out the music system in the main game first, I suppose. Um, there should be a lot of spillover, so once the main games thing is done, it'll be easy to port it over here to the custom game or the custom game menus. So yeah, we're gonna avoid that for now. But we'll come back here, and I guess I will stop playing. Uh, well, while that's stopping, is there anything else that stands out really? Nothing particularly crazy. I think mostly right now I'm trying just to avoid doing interactions because I feel like that's something that should just have a clean start um, and have an entire day to itself. So I'm gonna try to do like one more thing, and then we'll might end up ending a little early today because I'm still kind of wiped out from yesterday. So custom game input view. I mean, we fixed some of those minor bugs. Um, we could add some features. Oh, what the heck? I commented you out. Why are you still here? Weird. Okay. Clear there. Let's go ahead and play through this and see if we see anything that really needs to be fixed. Start. Extras. Author mode. Create. Zork. And I guess I don't have variables set up yet. That might be a nice thing to look into. Hmm. Yeah, all right, let's do that. So I don't remember if I currently have something for that. So let's look up custom game settings. Okay, well there we go. So I started working on a script and I did not do anything with it. So that's fine with me. Um, I probably should actually have just a view called custom set or custom game variable view or variables view. So it's just going to be a view specifically dedicated to custom variables that you're setting up. And that's going to allow you to set either ints, floats, strings, or bools. Nothing else because I can't really expand on that very easily for players. So let's see here. We're going to go to prefabs, content creation, views. These things, collapse all this. Warnings, map, room, scripts. Okay. So we're going to come down here. I guess I'll just call this variables. So create folder, variables. So we're going to say custom game variables view. Open this up, load all. Let's close our audio utility, don't really need that open. Custom game input view, I guess we'll keep that open for now. Parser commands are probably fine to close. Probably good on the custom room view. Definitely good on you guys. Probably good on you. Alright, so with this we're going to say text quest. Text quest. This is going to derive from guess, which is sleepyl.common. And I gotta sneeze. Ah, dang it. Did that really annoying thing again where I can't sneeze. Ah. All right, so we're gonna need, just offhand, public rect transform, variables grid, and that's probably what we can pretty much just do for now. Well, you know what? No, we're gonna need a couple of buttons, I suppose. So we're gonna say using Unity Engine.ui. So we're gonna say public button new variable button. Let's go ahead and put that below our rect transform. And I think that's probably all I can really do for now. I'm going to have to make another script after that one compiles. We're going to have one called, I guess, variable row, maybe, or variable node. Or what did I call? Did I call them exit nodes? Yeah, room exit node. Okay, so yeah, we'll probably call these just like custom game variable. Oh, no, custom game variable node. I guess that's all I can really think to call it. So it's a terrible name. Custom game variable node. I really should abbreviate custom game to CG underscore. It certainly would cut down on my typing. All right, so this is going to be a mono behavior. It is going to be using Unity Engine.ui, then using tmpro. All right, so we're going to say public text mesh tmp input field. We're going to say name field, public text mesh, I think it's just tmp drop down, type field, I guess, or type drop down. And then another int field for, or another input field for default value. No. We're going to have three separate, gross. We're going to have three separate input fields and a fourth input, or a fourth drop down. So one input field for strings, one input field for ints, one input field for floats, and one drop down for bools. Because a bool should either be true or false and nothing in between. Yay. So we're going to say, and this puts me in a weird spot. So I like to group things by type normally, but I also like to group them by structure. So this is really weird for me. So we're going to say public tmp underscore input field. This is going to be our string field. Public tmp underscore input field. Float field. Public tmp underscore input field. Int field. And public tmp underscore drop down, and that's going to be bool drop down. Okay. After that, we're actually going to have some game objects. So we're going to say public game object. Let's see. String area. Game object, float area, public game object, int area, and then public game object, bool area. Okay, simple as that. And we will end by setting up all of the scripts, or all of the coding actually necessary for this to function. So we're going to say private void, well, actually, you know what? No, that's fine. Private void awake. private void on name changed string value. Private void on type changed. It's going to be int value. Private void on I guess string value changed. String value. Copy that. Okay. So this is going to be on float value changed, on int value changed, and on bool value changed. All right. And that one is actually going to be an int because it's a drop down. Let's see. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Scorpio. So we're going to say name field dot on end edit, I think is what we want. Yep. On end edit dot add listener on name changed. Then let's see, type drop down dot on value change dot add listener on type changed. Then we have string field, dot on end edit dot add listener on string value changed. Float field dot on end edit on end edit dot add listener on float value change. Int field dot on end edit dot add listener on int field or int value changed, and then finally bool drop down dot on value change dot add listener on bool value changed. Jesus, took forever to code. All right. Well, I say forever, and it was just doing basic event listeners. So now we actually need to do a bunch of stuff. So we're going to say on name change. Oh, and actually, no, before I do anything else, I'm actually going to go ahead and let that compile. We're going to need a data class for this, I think. And that's just going to be something that gets stored in JSON. It's going to be simple for the most part. So we're going to say, actually, before we do anything, do I already have something called variable data? I don't. Good. Good. I'm just going to call this variable data then. No, not JavaScript. Ah, dang it. Variable data. Dang it. Ah, freaking JavaScript. And now I gotta wait for it to compile before I can finish typing all of this. Okay. I'm gonna delete this. All right. Reload all. And variable data is, I guess it's not going to be a struct, it's going to be a class. All right. Does it need to be serialized? Not really. So let's see. So variable data is going to have a public string name, or we'll call it var. No, it's fine. Just calling it name is equal to nothing. Public. I suppose I should make this a type, shouldn't I? All right. We'll let that all compile. Type. Okay, good. Reload all. Alright. So this is going to derive from byte. It is going to be an enum. Okay. It's going to be in the text quest or text quest namespace. Save here. Come back up here. Alright, so its types are going to be string. Oops. string, no, capital S, string, which is going to be equal to 0, float, which is going to be equal to 1, oops, int, which is going to be equal to 2, and bool, which will be equal to 3. Assuming I can type, which apparently I cannot today. So, all right, let's get rid of all of our extra white space. Public variable type is equal to variable type dot string. Okay, then we're going to say public string string value is equal to nothing. Public float value is equal to 0f. Public int value is equal to 0, and public bool value is equal to false. Okay. Then we're going to should I call those default values? I guess it doesn't really matter so much. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so let's see. Don't need you anymore. I don't even think we really need using Unity Engine. Okay. Are we doing anything else with this just besides storing data? I don't think so. So we're gonna come back here. All right. So we're gonna say public. Well, actually, you know what? Hold on. We are gonna come back here. We're gonna have a constructor. So we're gonna say public variable data, and that's going to take a string for name, variable type for type, and that's probably fine, honestly. I just need something that I can pass when I click new variable. So we're going to say this dot name is equal to name. This dot, oops, not bills. This dot type is equal to type. And that should be good. Everything else is fine when it's at a default value. I guess I need JSON stuff. Yeah, that's what it is. So we're going to say using sleepyal.common. Okay. We'll go ahead and make this derived from JSON serializable. So we're going to say public void from JSON object, JSON, then public void, JSON object to JSON object, JSON is equal to new JSON object, return JSON. Ta-da, simple as that. All right. We're going to need up here, we're also going to want to have a constructor that's just public variable data, JSON object, JSON is equal to null. And then we're just going to say if JSON does not equal null from JSON. Okay, simple as that. And we're going to come back here. We're going to do don't really care about anything else. No, not really anyway. Well, it's hard to say. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 buttons here. Public button, delete button, and public button, save button. You know what, saves will just be automatic, I guess, similar to everything else. Okay, so we're going to say on name changed. I guess I'll have a private variable data. Oh, text quest variable data. Data, that's what we'll just call it. And then we will also say public void open. I'm surprised that doesn't throw an error. Oh, that's right, because we're not doing anything with that. I need to just say public void set data variable data this dot data is equal to data, and then we'll have a function for refresh information. So public void refresh node. All right, so we're going to say this dot name. I don't need to do this. Just do name field dot text is equal to data dot name. Then this is going to be fun. Type dropdown dot value is equal to data dot type, and then we're going to say int. Okay. What else do we want to do? We need to set all the individual values, I suppose. So after that, we're going to say switch type, or I'm sorry, data.type. So case variable type dot string. Break. Copy and paste that a couple of times. Actually, no, before we copy and paste that, we're going to say string field dot set active. Oh no, whoa, what is going on? Sorry, string area dot set active true. Then float area dot set active false. Copy paste that a couple of times. Int area bool area. Come down here. All right, so this is float int and bool. Okay. Do this. All right. And I guess after all of that, we also want to set the value. So we're going to say, if it's a string, we're going to just say string field dot text is equal to data dot string value. Otherwise, we will say float field dot text is equal to data dot string value. Just copy this and paste it there. So int field. Oh, and I did that wrong. Should be int value dot toString dot float value dot toString. And finally, I'm going to say, oh, this one's going to be different actually. We're going to say bool dropdown dot value is equal to data dot bool value question mark. If so, that's going to be true, which will be 1. So 1, otherwise 0. So if it's false, it's 0. If it's 1, it's true. Or whatever. You know what I meant. Sorry, stretching a lot during the stream. Don't know why. Okay. That is a decent point to let it compile. That should actually populate the data. That should set everything to make it look right. Then we'll go ahead and we'll say data name is equal to value. On type change, we're going to set data.type is equal to variable type of value. Simple as that. And data.string value is equal to value. Data.float value is equal to value.toFloat. Oh, and I'm not using common. Using sleepyowl.common. There we go. .toFloat. Ta-da. So we just gotta finish setting these things up, and then we can actually set to work on the UI. So int value to int. And data.bool value is equal to data dot, I'm sorry, not data dot bool value, bool dropdown dot value is equal to 1. Okay, so that should work. Oh, I guess I can just shorten that to be value. So there we go. Let's go ahead and let that compile. And oh, I need to do the delete button stuff. So at the very bottom here, we're going to say private void on delete clicked. We're going to do something. I don't know what yet, but we'll do something. Delete button dot on click dot add listener on delete clicked. All right. On delete clicked. I guess what should happen is I recycle this object and then remove its value from an array. But we need to set up the actual array that's going to store all those values first. So before we get there, now we have to do all this stuff. So that was all just the work for the individual node that will show all those options. Now we need to deal with the actual menu. So we're going to say public custom game variable node. We'll call this variable node prefab. Okay. I will probably go ahead and say public rect transform. Oh, not rect transform. I'm sorry. Scroll rect. That's what it's called. Scroll rect. Variables scroll. Okay. The reason I'm doing that is just so that I can reset that value whenever the menu is open. So I'm going to say override open. I'm going to say if not is open, not parabox, whatever that is. Do all that fun stuff. All right, then we're going to say override close if is open. Do all the fun stuff. Okay, then we're going to need private void recycle nodes. Before that, we're going to say private void generate nodes. The first line of which will be recycle nodes, of course. All right. So we're going to do private author, custom author session, then private custom game author session, get return author session question mark, author session, and then author session is equal to global.get author session. Okay, that makes it a little bit easier for me to actually do author session related content. Generate nodes. I think, well, author session doesn't have anything for this right now. So let's go ahead and we're going to say variable data actually? Nope, it doesn't do anything with JSON right now. Okay, so I think I need to go to custom game. Right, it's not called custom game utility, it's called custom content utility. Alright. So let's see, game info, settings, variables. Here we are. That is not quite correct. It's almost correct. So we're going to say yeah, okay, we'll leave that there, and instead we're going to move this down to game variables? No, I don't want to call it that. It is variables, but I don't know what to say. How about... Dang it. I guess author variables. These are things that are going to be the same between the two of them, I guess. But all right. So we're just going to say public const string var underscore name is equal to name. We're just going to copy and paste. So type string float int bool. Okay. Var type var string var float var int and var bool. Okay, so this is going to be type string float value int value and bool value. All right. So we're going to come back to variable data. All right, and we are going to say name is equal to JSON dot get string value custom content utility dot var underscore name. All this stuff should be set. So type is equal to get string var or value var type. Oops. Dot to enum. Variable type. And we open close parentheses. There we go. Okay. Now after that, it's going to get a little bit, well, I guess it's actually pretty much going to be the same. So we're going to say string value is equal to JSON.get string value custom content utility dot var underscore string, and then we're going to give it a default value because the four value types need to have default values if they, just because otherwise it's entirely possible that, well, I'm not planning on saving all of the information, only the information that's actually relevant. So I won't save the string value if it's a bool type, because it doesn't make sense to have just a bunch of empty strings lying around. So I need to make sure that I specify defaults, otherwise it'll throw errors when I try to import a bunch of data. So float value, int value, it's going to be, oops, wrong one. It's going to be var underscore float. It's going to be a 0f by default. And this is going to be get float value, then get int value, followed by 0. And instead of var string, it's going to be var underscore int. Then bool value is equal to get bool value, false, and var underscore bool. All right, so all that stuff's going to get loaded in now. And then when we save out, we're going to do something similar to that, but not quite. JSON.add is going to be type, and then we have a switch statement after that. Switch type. So it's going to be type. Let's see. It's not going to like it because it's not a string. Yeah, not toString. It's going to be var underscore type. Okay. Case dot string break, and we're going to say JSON dot add custom content utility dot var underscore string followed by string value. Okay, now we can go through and set our actual values. String, float, int, and bool. Float, int, and bool. All right, so this is going to be float, int, and bool. Then bool value. Value and float. Oops. Float value. All right. So now saving and loading for individual variable data stuff should work. Let's see here. We're going to go to custom game variable node. We don't really care about that. On delete clicked. I'm not going to worry about for now. Okay. So I think we might be good. I'm going to go up to custom game sessions. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think. You know what else this needs? Variable data needs a int ID. So I'm going to say public int ID is equal to 0. Int ID. Then this dot ID is equal to ID. Okay. So we need to have that int ID. It needs to be unique. That way, we again, similar to our room IDs, if we don't have a unique integer ID, that will not change. If the user decides that I don't want my my door unlocked variable to be called door unlocked, I want it to be called door locked instead. If we don't have that unique int ID, when they make that change, it will basically mean they have to go through and individually change a bunch of stuff. Whereas with this, we can just reference everything by ID and use the name as a convenience method to make things human readable. So in reality, we would be passing around a bunch of IDs that are just integers, but to the user, it would look like we're passing around strings, which is fine because strings are much easier to read. So custom game variable node, and I think we want to go to, where is my custom game author session? It is nowhere to be found. Well, all right, that's fine, I guess. So we're going to come up here, go to definition. I guess it's because it wasn't being used, apparently. We don't need classic. Well, we probably should have classic create view because I got to make that work. So I think the custom game author session is going to have a list of variable data, but the actual custom game session will just have these bools, ints, floats, and strings in a dictionary because it doesn't need any extra information like type or anything like that. Well, yeah. And again, no, I guess I probably will have to. Oh, geez, that makes things super awkward. Yeah, all right. So we'll actually keep that list here in custom content session or custom game session. So I'm going to say protected list variable data, and we'll just call this variables is equal to new list variable data. All right. So we're going to go to load game data is end room. I guess I can't do that. I don't want to do that here. That's right. So custom game author session gets the add and remove stuff. So get connection info, generate room ID, get room position, gets set start room, add end room, remove end room, set room position, clear, get add, delete, get connection count. Okay, so here we're gonna go ahead and say public void add variable, I guess, is what I'm going to have to call that. Do I want to say variable data? Yeah, no, nah. You know what? We might do what we're doing for our add new room where we return the new room. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So we're going to say variable data, add variable. So that way, custom game author session is responsible for making a new one, and it can set all the parameters as expected. So we're going to say variable data is equal to new variable data. Hold on. We might want to have a similar thing to get new room ID or generate room ID. So I'm going to copy this, paste this down here. So instead of generate room ID, we're going to call this generate variable ID. We'll start at 10 arbitrarily. That's probably not a bad thing to do again. Special variables. Let's see, we don't need to worry about room info. Oh, well, actually, no, we do. We need this to be variable data. And this is going to be between variables, account, UID is equal to data. Oh, I'm sorry, variables dot ID plus 1. Info is equal to, oh, right, get variable, which currently doesn't exist, but that is something that I knew I was going to need to do. So that's fine. So we can awkwardly kind of go back and forth here, I guess. So let's see. Generate variable ID and variable type Devstream. All right, then we're going to need public variable, or vectiable, I guess. Variable data, get variable. Okay. Let's see here. So for this, we're going to say return null at the very end here. Otherwise, we're going to say for int I is equal to 0, I is less than variables dot count I plus plus. And we'll say if variables of I dot ID is equal dot ID is equal to ID. This is going to be an int ID. Then we will return variables of I. Get rid of you. We'll make this one line. Make things a little bit easier on ourselves. Variables of I. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to unmute that. All right, so we have generate variable ID. I suppose we'll call this new variable. That's all fine, I think. Then we'll say variables dot add data, then return data as well. Then we need to do remove variable. So public void remove variable int ID, and we will just say should I all right, fine, we'll just do another for loop here, because I could do like a get variable and then just remove that variable that's returned, but this seems like it would be a little bit more efficient, just barely, but a little bit, I guess. So we're going to say reverse, I suppose. So I minus minus, I is greater than or equal to 0, and then I is equal to variables dot count minus 1. And if these are equal, we are going to break out at the end, and we are also going to say variables dot remove at I. Okay. So we have information, or the functions to set all of the variable stuff correct. I actually kind of wonder if I need to move get variable into something else. Maybe? No, I think that's fine. So we're going to come back up here to custom game variables view. And let's see, new variable button, all that fun stuff. Come down here, private void on new variable clicked. Private, actually no, hold on. Override, do I have one for awake? Nope, okay, never mind. So we're going to say private void awake. New variable button dot on click dot add listener on new variable clicked. And that's pretty much it for now. So let's go ahead and let this all compile. And now we're actually going to do the UI. So let's turn this on, and I think I can get rid of our custom game map view. I think we really need that. All right, we're going to go ahead and say new stretch, root. And actually, you know what? Before we even do that, let's just go ahead and grab prefabs. Classic mode main menu, I think is what I want. Nope. So just classic create then. It is. All right. All right. Get rid of this. Remove component. Create view. We will, I guess, remove this as well. Basically, we're going to remove everything except for the root. I just want it for the setup, which I guess was kind of pointless because it was just a black image. I thought it was more complex than that. All right, let's rename this to view custom game variables. All right, we're going to drag that down here so I don't accidentally override my original prefab. And let's start dragging in some scripts. We're not going to hide cursor on close. Order is probably fine for, let me see here. Play select, classic mode, main menu. 5, so 6. Probably fine. Here's the root. Type is default. Okay. So let's go ahead and have one for the top. This is going to be called title. Have a pivot of 1, position of 0, F, come up here. We're going to create UI, text mesh pro text. I'm going to make sure that it's using our 8-bit font. We're going to have this I suppose we'll have this stretch the entire way. Then it's going to be centered. So this is going to say variables, which for some reason looks like variables, but I'm pretty sure that I spelled it right. All right, so it's going to be title label. All right, let's add a quick UI sprite here, or an image. I'm going to make it a solid. It's going to stretch all along the bottom. Has a nice little bit of a divide. Its height is going to be 0. Or I'm sorry, not 0, but 5. Its position Y is going to be 0. And it's going to be offset 25. Nope, way more than that. 50 and 50. Yeah, it's fine. All right, so that's the divide. And the next thing is going to be our back button, I guess, is what I would call it. Actually, no, no, those are going to be at the bottom. We're going to have new variable and close. Okay, so that's good for our title. Then we're going to have our content, and then let's go ahead and call that content. It's going to stretch the entire way. And then finally, we're going to have our controls, buttons. I guess I should. Okay. Now I'm trying to think of a way to basically have a clear all button. I think it would just be a clear all, but I would like to have a daisy chained modal, which I've never done before. Basically, because I would like you to say click or clear all, and I'd like a modal pop up to say, "Are you sure you would like to clear all variables? This cannot be undone." If you hit yes, it would ask you to type confirm to clear all variables, just to make sure that you can't accidentally do this. So for now, we probably won't have a clear all button, but that's something I want to do. Let's change our pivot, positioning. All right. And I suppose, where are you? Here we are, map view. Custom game map. Open all this up. We're going to go to our toolbar, buttons. I'm going to steal the play button. You know what? Actually, we're going to steal the new room button. So copy that. Delete. And we're going to hit that. I just wanted to use the same base for a style button. Let's see. So we're going to rename this to be, instead of new room button, it would be called new variable button. All right. And I suppose this should probably be, oops, not 3. Should probably be as horizontal layout group. Horizontal layout group. I'll have it stretch and height. Let's duplicate this. Instead of new variable button, this is going to be quit button. Single this out. Okay, spacing is going to be 10, and padding from the left is 50, and from the right is 50, and from the top 25. Or you know what? Actually, we'll make this 0, and I think I'll just change my height. So instead of a 100 height, it's going to be 50, and then from the bottom, it's going to be a 25 offset. That looks good, or good enough, I guess. Hello, Anthony. Welcome back again. That's all right. We've mostly been doing a lot of scripting, so you haven't missed anything overly exciting. Let's go ahead and open up our backgrounds and change our labels. So I was going to say new, oops, uppercase, new variable. And this is going to say new, or no, not new, quit, or not quit, return to main menu. Game menu? I don't know what else to say there. How about just back? Back works. Call this the back button. So we set up a lot of structure for the new variables view for custom games. Aside from that, we did a lot of minor fixes. So we fixed a cross-fading issue with going between rooms that have backgrounds and rooms that don't have backgrounds. We started to look at audio, but then we pulled off of that just because I need to refactor my audio system a little bit. There it is. I knew this was. Why do you keep resetting? Content bottom. This is all fine. All right, so 25. There we go. And we're going to shorten this to 75, I think. Yeah, that's good. All right. So there's our back and new variable buttons. We'll go ahead and leave those as they are. I guess we'll make our highlight for the new variable button greenish, kind of just to make it look nice. Back button, should I make that red? I'll tint it a little bit red for the highlight. Nothing crazy. So that's fine, and all we have to do now is set up our content. So we're going to go ahead and create UI, scroll view. Let's have it stretch all the way. Our content will be 75 from the top. We'll do 80 from the top, actually. 80 from the top. And hello, Sky. Welcome back. How are you doing today? Oh, and also thank you for the bit. You have still retained your title as heavyweight bit champion. All right, from the bottom, we're gonna go ahead and do 60. Nope, we gotta do way more than that. 75, I guess. Very fine. Let's do 80. BS, unfair? What's unfair? And doing good watching the dog. Alright, well, hopefully I can be as entertaining as the dog. No promises, but I will try. In any case, we're going to go ahead and get rid of our scroll bar horizontal, which means that our viewport is going to need to change. Oh, I'm sorry, no, it's not that. We want to clamped, not horizontal scrolling, because that's not going to be a thing. Scroll sensitivity of 10 I found is pretty good. I would be a bit champion if they let you keep, or UK people give free bits. Huh. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I again, like I looked into the bit system. I wasn't sure how that worked. It seemed like initially they gave out a bunch of free bits, but I haven't actually looked into what it, like how you acquire them. I assumed it was just something you just pay like $5 to Twitch to get Twitch fun money that you can then throw around whenever you like what's going on. But I actually probably should look into that system a little bit more. In any case, content, we're going to actually have this rolled in from the left by 25, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's fine. 25 here. We'll change our viewport. What's the scroll bar here? That's the problem. Bottom 0. Pivot of 0. There we go. Okay, so that means that our content is actually going to want to be probably 35 from the right. Make it just a little bit. Let's make it an even 50, I guess, to have it line up with everything. So 50 and 50. I think that works fine. It feels like I got too much white space on the sides, though. So I might bump that down to 30 again. 30 and 30. That's fine. Ah, dang it. It bugs me so much, though. I can't get this to look right. It's going to be asymmetrical because of this stupid thing. All right. Let's go ahead and get rid of this and get rid of the canvas renderer. We have our viewport, and then we have our content. All right, so our content is the thing that's going to be the doing the bulk of the work. We're going to need to add a layout group for we'll do a vertical layout group. Actually, no, we need to do a vertical layout group. And then we will also do a content size fitter that will stretch to fit the min size of our vertical content. money into bits. Okay, I bought 25,000 bits. That is a lot of bits. Whew. Is that how? Wait, that. Oh man, that's a weird conversion rate. So $385 for 25,000 bits. Oh geez, that's like Microsoft money. It's always my big complaint with Microsoft points for Xbox. It's like pay us $15 and you get 1,000 Microsoft points. It's like why are you doing this in such a weird number? Why can't you make $10, 100 Microsoft points or something, or 1,000? Um, in any case, so we have our vertical layout group. We'll do probably 5 spacing, maybe 10. Have everything stretch, and now we're going to actually do our content for it. So we need to do our layout group for the variable itself. So we're going to make a new object underneath that. We're going to add a layout element with a min height of 50. So for this is going to be a little bit awkward, I think. So we're going to make this an image, UI image. It's going to be a solid square, and then it's not going to fill its center. I'm not super happy about that. That kind of looks nasty. But it might be okay. It's hard to tell. I think that the top white part not rendering is just a weird UI bug. I bet if I scale that up a little bit, it would be fine. And it kind of is, but it's also kind of not. Looks terrible though. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and call this a variable node. Okay, we're gonna come down here. We're gonna pull on our custom game variable node, place that there. And now we need to actually set up our separate areas. So we're going to do new object. This is going to stretch all the way. Well, I say all the way. And by all the way, I mean 0.3. That's probably fine. F here. Yeah, that's fine. So this is going to be our name. Duplicate that. We're going to have a left. I'm sorry, not that. It's going to be anchored from 0.3 to 0.6. Out 111. This is going to be our type, and then finally we're going to end with our value. So this is going to be value. Scale it out. 1111. It's going to be from 0.6 to 0.4. I'm sorry, not 0.4. That's backwards to 1. All right, 0, 0, 0, and 0. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and try to fill in some stuff. So we're going to say UI, TextMesh Pro, input field. We will have the stretch all the way here. And we're going to have to get creative with our looks for this. I kind of don't think we really need much of a background here. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I could replace this with just the, what is it called? Oh, that's the target graphic. That's not what I want, sorry. We want UI mask object. Not super crazy about that one. I guess I could just make it a solid square. Just make it black by default. And we'll have its highlight color be like a dark gray. Its press color to be a slightly darker gray. And do all this fun stuff. Okay. We'll have new variable be its default values. Make sure that these are set up. So 8-bit font. Let's see, placeholder is fine like that, but its actual color needs to be white. So not 1424. Seems right. Text is going to be angled center like that. All right. I kind of wonder if I can make this. Yeah, I think that will work. All right. So actually, what's going to end up happening here is some fun stuff. So we're going to call this uh, name oops, input field. All right. We're going to come up here to content and I'm sorry, variable node. And I'm actually going to go ahead and make this a oops, wrong thing. There we go. I have a sub object, and this is going to be our settings, I guess. And this is going to be 5555. All of these guys are going to be below that. I lied before we do that. It's going to be 0000. 0, 0. We're going to move these guys in, and then we will set this to 5555. All right, so now our variable node is no longer going to be sliced. Well, it's going to be sliced, but it's not going to just not fill its center. Instead, it will fill its center, and then we will have another image below it. Well, no, we won't do that. We'll just have this fill in, and then everything else will cover it up with their own particular fields. All right, so we have our name, and that looks good. We have our type next, which is going to be drop down, drop down, and let's say 0.2, not automatic. So for this, we're going to have string as our option. Oh, did I do this? This is a text drop. No, it's not. Why does it look so fuzzy though? All right, it's fine. Float int. We'll say integer. And then finally, Boolean. All right, so this is going to be called type dropdown. It's going to stretch again. I guess what we'll probably end up doing is say, so instead of 0.3, this would actually be 0.3. That's fine. And then type will start at 0.315. And type dropdown, or I'm sorry, and value will start at 0.615. So we get a little bit of white space between them, basically. All right, let's change our type dropdown sprite. Again, we're going to use a solid, have it be colored black by default. Its highlighted color will be slightly above gray, well, medium gray. Press color will be dark gray. Maybe not that dark, something like that. I don't really care about the disabled color because it's never going to be disabled. And that's pretty much it for that. I guess we're going to want to do this stuff. So we're going to want to change this out for 8-bit font. Make this white by default. 18, really, 24. Not bad. I think that's fine. Come down here to our template. Check mark. 8-bit font. 18 is probably fine for those. Not entirely sure, honestly. Turn this all on. Yes, that looks right then. I'm going to let that go. Although, actually, no, I lied. It's going to be a little bit different. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so we are going to change this to... Okay, good. So we're going to change this to be a solid color. Like that. And our viewport is... You've got to be kidding me. Because I can't have nice things. I'm going to show the graphic. We're going to change it out to be, again, solid. But I can't... Dang it. I hate that I can't control the viewport. It's because it has a slider. But it doesn't need one because it's not going to go beyond 4, I suppose. So it's not going to scroll vertically. So we don't care. Actually, I'm going to get rid of you. Okay. So from the right, this is actually going to be 5, 5, 5, and 5. Okay, simple as that. And after all of that, I think we're good. So I'm going to turn you off. Okay, so that's our first two fields, the name for the variable and the type of the variable that it is. And then finally, we're going to get to work on the values. So we're probably not going to get to actual implementation of these variables today, but we're going to get the UI done at the very least. At least I hope we will, because it's already been 2 hours and I'm getting kind of hungry. So we're going to go ahead and say, so value is going to be a little weird because it has it has 4 separate fields below it, but only one of them will be active at any given time. So some of them can be pretty easy, and we'll just be, let's go ahead and stretch this like that. So this is going to be called, not name input field, but string for our value, or string area. We'll call it string area. It's going to be our string input field. All right, and its default value is going to be empty, I suppose. And by default, I suppose that means we will say empty. Like that. That's fine. Okay, now let's duplicate this. I'm going to call this out. We're going to call this float area. All right, now for float area, also, you know what, that's probably fine. I'm going to do some validation on this. So content type is going to be, I guess, I would prefer alphanumeric. We'll leave it as alphanumeric. Well, no. This one can be standard. The variable name, though, probably should be alphanumeric. So we're going to come up here. I'm going to change this one to alphanumeric. All right. And the float field is going to be different because it's going to be floats. So I'm going to say float input field. It's not going to be alphanumeric. It's just going to be decimal number. All right, let that go. Duplicate this, call it int area. Single these out. Now you might wonder why I go to 1 then 0 whenever I'm zeroing the rect transforms position values out. That's because if you just try to hit 0, sometimes the value is so close to 0 that Unity is just like, meh, whatever, it's close enough. And then it keeps those very, very small float e to the negative power values, and we don't want that. So input field, and we're going to change that to from decimal numbers to just integer numbers. Simple as that. And last is going to be a type dropdown. Have it stretched. Instead of game object, this is going to say bool area. Okay, and then bool drop down. All right, so this one's going to be a little bit different. It's not going to have 4 values. It's just going to have 2. So get rid of you. This is going to be false. and true. True. All right. Besides that, we don't really care about anything else, so I think we are good. We might. It's probably fine. Um, hmm. All right. You know what? I'm actually gonna tell my type dropdown default selected value to be 3. So it's gonna be Boolean by default. And let's see here. I'm gonna turn you guys off. And I think we're good to go. Although at this point, I might change this around. I'm not sure if that's long enough for a name field. We might want to increase that width because our current value width is the longest, or currently our value field is the longest field, but I don't know if it necessarily needs to be. It might be better to have the name have a little bit more width. At the very least, I could certainly shorten this. So let's go to name. Let's bump that up to 0.4. Let's change our type to 0.415 because Boolean is the longest type. I'm going to double check that. Integer, float, and string. So yeah, I think that's fine. So long, shortish, long. That's fine. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to start dragging in references now. Okay, so string area, float area, int area, and bool area, followed by name field, type dropdown, string field, float, int, and bool dropdown. All right, so those are all set up now, and next we need. That's kind of the problem, isn't it? Okay. We need a delete button. So I guess if we change this to like 50, 100, that's not too bad. So we're going to go ahead and create a button here. So create UI button. It's going to be stretched to the right, and it is going to be pivoted all the way to 1, position of 0, and a width of 80, position of -5, from the top and bottom 5. Maybe width of 90. Yeah, that looks fine. Just delete you. We're going to create a text pro text here. 8-bit font. Have it stretched the entire way and have it say delete. All right, 24 might be a little bit much. How about 18? Not bad. 2, none. By default, this is going to be like a darkish red. Maximum red. Darkish red again. And let's call this delete button. But we're actually going to want to have this stretch even further. 100. I think that's good. Although our label probably could be increased in size a little bit. That's good. So I think we're looking at 105. Not bad. Let's go ahead and rename some stuff real quick. Change our settings so it's from the right. 110. Nope. 115. All right. I think that's a good look for our variable field. Let's go ahead and drag in our delete button. Okay. Now we can drag this out and make it just a prefab. Prefabs create folder, variables. Crap. There we go. Variable name. All right. Let's see. We'll give it a width and a height. I like to do that generally. So 1200 by 50. It's usually fine. That way I can just edit it outside of the grid and not have to worry about it being sized 0. All right, so we have our variable field set up. Now we need to get those spawning in and actually get the menu to open when we need it. So let's go ahead. We're going to come up here, drag in our variable node prefab. Let's come down here to our buttons. So we're going to have, actually, let's go back here real quick. We have another button that we got to add. We're going to say public button, back button. All right. Come down here. We're going to say private void on back clicked. All right. We're going to say back button on click dot add listener on back clicked. All right. Let's see. We'll go ahead and just call close. And I don't even think we needed that, but we can say UI dot open classic. Oh, actually, you know what? No, we don't have to worry about that. We're just going to close this one. Do we really care about anything else? Yes, we need to do on new variable clicked. And on open here, we will say, I guess, generate nodes. No, hold on. Generate nodes will have to come after the base open. And we are actually going to need a coroutine here. So I'm going to have to say using system.collections. The reason we need a coroutine is because I'm planning on when the variables menu is opened up, it's got to reset the position of the variables grid. And that means that I need to scroll it all the way up. Actually, you know what? No. Maybe I don't need to do that. Okay, I lied. I don't think I need a coroutine here. Instead, I think I can just say in generate nodes, at the very end of generate nodes, we'll just say scroll or variable scroll dot position, or I guess vertical normalized position is equal to 1f. That should mean that it's up at the top, and that's what we want. Okay. Everything else is going to be pretty much what's expected. So we're going to say for int I is equal to 0. Oops, 0. I is less than author session dot variables. Oh, okay. Crud. I need to expose that then. Custom game input session. I don't see a need to make it serializable. So, not really what I was expecting. Get rid of you. Not really using you, are we? Well, all right, we can come down here at least. No, that won't. Yeah, that won't work. I need to get the list. I don't see a need to make it public though. Fine. Public list variables. Get return variables. All right. We're gonna come back over here, and we're gonna say I is less than author session dot variables dot count I plus plus. All right. And we're gonna say pool manager dot request variable node. Oh, right, it's called custom variable node. custom game variable node, and that's going to be variable node prefab next to the variable grid. Okay, simple as that. So after that, we're going to say custom game variable node is equal to that. Okay, and then up at the very top here, I'm going to need a list. So we're going to say private list. And I'm not using. So I am going to need using system.collections.generic. So list custom game variable nodes. So I'm just going to call these nodes equal to new. I guess I'll call them variable nodes. Variable nodes. Okay. Then we're going to say variable nodes. Add node. Okay. Then we're going to say node dot set data. Author session dot variables of I. There we go. And that should pretty much be it. Okay. And then down here in recycle nodes, well, no. Okay. We're going to have events that we have to listen for. So I'm going to come up here. We're going to say public delegate void node event int id public delegate void node variable deleted delegate. There we go. And that's not a delegate, I'm sorry. That should be event and then node event. And that would be my cat wanting attention because she is spoiled. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and rename this to be variable event 2 or var event. That works too. I don't really care. It just needs to be something semi-useful. So we're going to pass variable deleted when delete is pressed. Data.id, I believe is what I want. All right. Then back here in custom game views, we're not quite done here. We are going to say private void on variable deleted int id. Okay, so we're going to say here node dot variable deleted plus equals on variable deleted. Right. Should I? That probably wouldn't be a bad thing. Hold on. I'm basically thinking of ways to recycle this node, because when it's deleted, you're not just going to delete the data. You need to make sure that we recycle the node. And if I pass just an int ID, I don't have a convenient way of accessing this. But it might be fine. And the problem is if I pass the actual node, then I don't have a convenient way of getting the ID. So it's rather annoying. But it might be fine if I just make data accessible. So if I say public variable data, and just say get return data, and just do that, and then I can pass, instead of the ID, the node, which means that down here, instead of saying data.id, I'm just going to pass this. So down here now, I'm going to say u, then node, and that lets me do stuff like this. Node dot variable deleted minus equals on variable deleted. I can do pool manager dot recycle node dot game object Although, yeah, no, it's fine. All right. Node equals. Oh yes, and then we're going to want to say author session dot remove variable node dot data dot id. Okay, simple as that. So that'll recycle the node. That will remove the variable from our list of variables, and everything should be cleaned up by doing that. All right. So for this, we're going to say for int. Oops, not int in. Int I equals 0. I is less than variable nodes. No, come on. Count. I plus plus. And we're just going to say variable nodes of I dot variable, oops, okay, of I dot variables deleted minus equals on variable deleted, and then pool manager dot recycle variable nodes of I dot game object, okay, and then finally at the end here we're just going to say variable nodes dot clear. Ta-da! Okay, that should handle spawning and despawning them on new variable clicked. Pretty much going to have to do the same thing we do here, but sort of in reverse. All right, and for that, we're going to say author session dot add variable. Okay, everything else is fine here. And actually, when we add a new variable, I would like to. Okay, now I need a actual coroutine. Dang it! I tried to get through without using it, but using system.collections.generic. Oh no, not .generic, just system.collections. I'm gonna come down here. We're gonna say private I enumerator. Scroll delay. Going to yield return null for one frame, and then we are just going to say variable scroll dot normalized vertical position. I'm sorry, vertical normalized position is equal to 0f. We have to wait one frame because UGUI takes one frame to register changes, and if we don't wait one frame before we scroll, what ends up happening is the scroll bar just kind of goes down to what it used to be, or what the bottom used to be, but that usually means that it's not going to show the actual bottom value, which can be pretty problematic. The scroll bar just kind of goes down to, dang it, accidentally unmuting that. All right, I think we are good to test, maybe. Oh, I probably should have this be recycle nodes, like that. So again, we're not going to actually do much right now, but at the very least we should be able to properly see and add and remove variables, even if those variables aren't being stored or anything. So we'll let that compile and then we'll test this out. Okay, so here's the rect transform for the grid. There's the scroll view, new variable button, and back button. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to call this variable scroll view. Collapse these, turn you off, hit apply, turn off our UI here, hit save. Then we're going to go to classic create view, I believe. Yes. Let's see, map settings button. I'm going to go to definition. No, sorry. Find all references. On settings clicked, go to definition. All right. So for this, we're going to say UI dot open custom game variables view. It is going to be false. We are not going to close others. let that go. And, oh, crud. I almost forgot. I need to add that variable, or that, I need to add that menu to my UI prefab. Come on, you can do it. Resources. Fine. Okay, let's go ahead and shut these things. Shut as much of this as I can. Makes it a lot easier to scroll. All right, we're gonna want. Oh. Oh, phew. Okay. I thought for a second that I. Oh. Wait. Did I? I may have accidentally just deleted one of my. Oh, jeez. Please tell me that I didn't. Please, 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 please tell me that I didn't. Classic create. This is okay. Good. Whew. I just put it in the wrong spot. Oh, okay. Heart attack. Very minor heart attack. Sorry, I thought that I wasn't careful and that I just deleted or overwrote a existing menu for the variable menu. And that would have been very, very annoying. So I'm glad that I did not do that. At least I hope I did not. All right. So let's actually see if this works. Start. Extras, author mode, create, Zork. Okay. New variable. We're going to call this test variable. Oh, yeah. I guess I can't use spaces there. Can I use underscores? Can't use underscores or dashes, so we might have to let that be standard again. Dang it, seriously? I wish I knew why these were invisible. It's super strange. Oh, crud. Wait. What? Hold on. Okay, so at least delete works. Custom game variable node. Type dropdown. On type changed. Oh, there we go. Okay. I need to do refresh node, I believe. Okay. There we go. So that was the problem. That was the reason it wasn't refreshing properly. Is there anything else that I wanted to do while I was not particular? No, it's fine. Ah, come on. There we go. So I think once we get this tested, it's probably a good place to stop for the day, especially because it's been 3 hours. Ah, very, 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 very long stream today. All right, we're gonna click through this. Start. Create. Zork. Game settings. New variable. Call this test variable. Okay. We'll make it string. That's fine. Test. Okay. Let's go to float. So 0.5. Good. Integer. 0.5. I can't do that, so I can just make it 5, which is fine. Boolean is going to be either false or true. All right. So let's go ahead and set this back up. We're going to add a couple of more variables. Oh, no, that's right. It just called it new variable. That's fine. So we're going to call this string variable float variable int variable and bool variable boolean integer float. All right. I guess let's hit back now and test it. All right, everything seems to load in. So yeah, that's probably actually a pretty good place to stop for the day. Um, so we got a lot of minor fixes. Well, not a lot. A couple of minor fixes in our actual custom game stuff, and then we've started work on uh, laying ground to eventually get variables set up so that players can make their own custom variables to keep track of in their custom games, or flags to look at in their custom games. Um, so that should hopefully allow for a little bit more experimentation in gameplay. Of course, once we get all that rigged up. But for now, the base system is here at the very least. It's just going to be a matter of trying to set it up and actually implement it. So I'm going to take a quick screenshot. And yeah. So any other announcements for today? Nothing in particular. So we should be back at our regular streaming time on Tuesday evening, so 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And aside from that, as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.